Hello and welcome to the WBB Mason Coaches Report. My name is Rachel, joined again by the head women's basketball coach of the Hofstra Pride, Danielle Santos Atkinson. Coach, how you doing today?
I am doing well, thanks.
Excellent. Well, the Pride came off 2 losses this weekend, William and Mary and Elon. But let's talk about the Elon match, the matchup on Sunday. Definitely not the start you were looking for against Elon, but an incredible second half comeback. Scored 41 points, outscored him in the second half, and won the game in the second half. Unfortunately, the first half was a little bit too much to overcome. But talk about that comeback and what that meant to your team moving forward.
I was really, really proud of them in that comeback. To be able to draw from that and games down the road, if ever necessary, I think it'll be a great one for us. But their relentless effort and their continued effort throughout the swings of the second half and the momentum changes, I was really, really proud of. They came together at halftime and said, hey, we are not going to quit. And I was really proud of the way they came out. And the way they fought the entire second half, to go from down 26 and to bring it within 5 shows that they really, really care. And it's just things that, we've got to continue to work on as we try to make sure we don't put ourselves in that position.
And as I mentioned, you play like that in the second half, you can beat anybody. So looking ahead, 2 tough games this weekend, Towson and James Madison, but how can you carry that momentum into these 2 games that are on the road?
Yeah, I'm hoping that swing in the second half gave us some confidence to really see. We talk about all the time the potential of this team and the glimpses that we're able to see in different spurts throughout the game, and being able to have some consistency and put that together for 40 minutes. And so I'm really hoping that that's given them some confidence going into these few practices that we have, as well into the game, as well as the games this weekend, for us to be able to turn that on and play that way from the very beginning and continue it throughout the game.
So as I mentioned, 2 tough games this weekend. You've got the first place James Madison Dukes and the defending champs Towson Tigers, both on the road, both tough opponents. But looking first at the James Madison game, it is a game that we know that Hofstra can win because we knocked them out of the tournament last year. So what do you think the mentality is this week facing James Madison?
Honestly, we've been preaching that it is solely and totally about us. It doesn't matter the opponent that we're going to be playing. We have to understand that there's things that we've got to work on as part of our process and getting better and growing as a team, and we've got to continue and develop those things. And looking at JMU, as you said, they're a very, very great program, and it's tough to play there. They have a great fan base, and they do really well at home. And so we're going to go down there knowing that we're going to have to play one of our best games, and that's what we're prepared to do. Then following that up with Towson, as you said, it's a very scrappy bunch, and they're very, very active, very athletic, and they get after it and they can score. And so for us defensively, we're going to have to make sure that we have a solid game plan there, and again, also have to be ready and playing our best game.
So James Madison entering this contest 4-1 in the league. They got the top scorer in Kamaya Smalls, and they've got to do it all forward underneath the basket in Kiki Johnson. So who are you going to be looking to this week to make sure that those players are covered and under control?
It's definitely a team effort with all of us. That's how we're going to win games, offensively and defensively. We've got to share the ball. Everybody's got to contribute and do their part. And we got to make sure that we're playing an inside-out basketball game on the offensive end. Defensively, with those guys, it is a team effort for sure. They're great players, and they can score on multiple levels. And so it's not just going to take one person to be able to shut down this player, but it's going to take an entire team. We'll have people guarding them, and everybody else behind them's got to have their back. And we got to make sure, again, whether we're in man or whether in zone, that we're aware of where those offensive threats are, and that we make sure that we have everyone covered.
And pending the result of this weekend, hopefully a positive one, but should it be a positive result, what can your team take away and what can they learn from the experiences of these 2 games this weekend?
We're hoping that coming out on a positive note, that it will be because that we've had growth and development in the areas that we're working on. So if we see that, we know we're headed in the right direction. There's still so much positive and so much growth happening within this team. We just have to make sure that in the right areas, in the areas necessary, in the areas that are needed, that we see exponential growth in those areas. And there's areas we really have to improve on in order to see that success, and we have to make sure we do that this weekend in order to have that positive outcome.
Okay, Coach. Well, best of luck this weekend. We're rooting hard for you against these two teams. And once again, that's James Madison, Friday night, 7 p.m., and Towson to follow on Sunday, 2 p.m., both games on the road. And then we'll talk to you after those two games. And, Coach, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thank you.